and I want to welcome you to another episode of Beyond the Surface Radio. I'm your host, Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer, and today I want to read a letter. It kind of deals with some of the misinformation that people who come from Africa and make it to America send back to their brethren in their countries, their prospective countries. I saw this on Facebook and I thought it was so powerful and it speaks for itself. And so I just kind of want to share it here. It says, "This is me in 2004. I had just arrived in America like most will do, and I borrowed a friend's car to get this picture to send home. Later, I realized it is and was very wrong. Your success or failure in America as a Cameroonian depends greatly on who you spend your first 6 months in America with. And the stories you send back home is what leads to the brainwashing of those back home. That's when we make those promises which we struggle to keep throughout our stay in America. Most of us get to America and then realize it's not really as good as we had heard it was. The pictures we send home tell a different story of the reality in America. It seems no one in America tells you the truth. We all come to fall in the same lies and then do worse to repeat same lies to others, especially those who come after us. And we do well to let the newcomers make their own mistakes, and that's how the cycle of mistake making continues. The truth is, America is like sinking sand. The majority of the people are struggling to stay afloat. Everyone is running between means and ends. Success is not permanent. You are a king one day and tomorrow you are a peasant, especially when you don't belong to the class. This is when you know America is not a country. It is a system that is designed with its own parameters, not in your favor. For me, I realize the greatest thing America gives an immigrant is the right to a very good education. But what's most important is what you learn and what you do with it. I struggled back then to understand why most Cameroonians did jobs they would not do in their own country. Real success is when you are able to use your U.S. education to do work out of the U.S. The U.S. is a system, not a country. Everything is set to happen the way it does. You can only become so much in America as an immigrant, no matter how much you push to make it happen. Many, at times, our attempts to push beyond those limits gets us in trouble with the system. And once you are stuck in it, you can never leave. Truth is, most Cameroonians in America don't live in America. They are stuck in America. And as hard as it is to accept, it is the sad reality. And by the time they try to make up their minds to move back home, the energy and enthusiasm is lost. So they just settle where they are and try to make the best of it. Home is home. There is a feeling you get when you are home. For any African, home is in Africa, period. No matter how you do. America can never be home. America is never home and can never be. That is why even the Americans still identify other countries as their country of origin. Many times we just have to be blind to accept it. It's like accepting to live through an abusive relationship. You just settle for it. The truth is, when you are still below 40, you don't feel it. You love America like a kid loves cake. And this is because this is the age you are eager and struggling to make your name. There are many things we ignore at this age just because we want to make it. And in the process, you are entangling yourself in the system. You go to school powered by student loans. You get married and max out credit cards. You have kids and manage their needs on credit. You buy a house on credit. You buy cars on credit. You get more credit cards. You buy more things on credit and spend every month balancing bills, among others. This is the life in America. America is a dream. You have to be asleep to keep the dream alive. And that's why you hear of the American dream. So important a note. There's a picture of this beautiful Cameroonian leaning on this car, and this is the illusion that he is sent home to his family to give the impression that he is doing better in America than he actually is. I thought this was important to share. I have so many who asked to go back to the U.S. with me. which is my home country, and they have no understanding of exactly what they're asking for. One thing I do like about Africa, even though it's sometimes tough to manage, it is a cash carry country. You pay cash, you carry it, you own it. The U.S., as the Cameroonian described, is based on credit. It's based on borrowing. So yes, we have the finest cell phones, the iPhone 14. But believe me, we're paying for it in installments. Almost nobody walks into anything and pays anything off. And that is a very different life to lead. There's so much more he could have added to this letter, but he was only so far in his experience with America. I always think of housing. In America, when you buy your house, you're paying a mortgage. And even when you pay that mortgage off, you don't own the land. That's why you pay property tax. And the days you stop paying the property tax, someone can pay up the late property tax and literally take your home from you, take it right up from under you while you're living in it. It's just some good food for thought. You've been listening to Beyond the Surface Radio, and I'm your host, Dr. Wanda J. Evans-Brewer. Until we meet again, be safe in God's grace.